welcome to our Christmas Day special. I guess you could call it a service.
It's a special day.
Whatever
special
this
service.
is that we're doing. Glad that you're joining us. Obviously, we don't know how you're joining us. You might be sitting around the breakfast table. You might be opening presents. Who knows what you're doing right now. But it's Christmas Day, and we are so pumped to have you here with us for what should be a fun time together.
This is so fun. You could be in your pajamas. You could be all dressed up. I don't know what you do Christmas Day, but we're here together, and this is fun.
We are.
Yeah. And so what do we got, Jared? What do we got on the agenda?
Well, we're going to talk about all sorts of stuff today. We're going to read through the Christmas story a little bit. We're going to have a little bit of music. We're going to have some fun, talk about some random Christmas stuff or whatever. But it's been a big year. It's been a crazy year. And, for you launched a whole online platform, workshop, and that's going great.
Yeah, it's been, 2 months so far?
Yeah.
It's been 2 months, and we're excited. We've seen almost 1,900 people sign up, and we have people going through courses. We have the workbooks, and we've had these live sessions, which have been so fun, meeting people from Tokyo, from South Africa, all across Canada, going through the content together. It's only been 2 months.
That's crazy.
Guys, and it looks beautiful from the outside, but on the internal, we have this whole master plan all set up for the next year, 2023. We thought through, what are the aspects of a disciple? We create videos, we create content so that we can put it out and that we can grow together as a community.
I mean, if you're not on this yet, you should probably sign up.
You probably should.
And start checking this out. I mean, that's a lot of
Yes.
people that have already signed up and been a part of this. So that's great.
Workshop.online. You got to check it out.
Okay.
You got to. And
will do that.
and Jared, it's been a big year for you. I mean, there's been a lot of changes. You've taken on quite a lot. And talk to us about what's going on with you.
Yeah, it's been a pretty big year. Thinking about Christmas last year and now this year, things are quite a bit different. It's been a wild ride for sure. But I'm just excited and really looking forward to, now that we're getting things set up and kind of what's next for Village Church. We're out there, we're interviewing people, we're looking for the other senior leader to work alongside of me. I'm really, really encouraged and really excited about where our church is going. So I'm looking forward to next Christmas even, where we're going to be able to sit around and go, man, what has happened in the last year? I'm really looking forward to that. So. I don't know. You're right. It's been a big year. But I'm really excited about where we're at.
That's so good. Well, we're excited that you've transitioned into this role. We're all so excited. So,
oh, thanks.
So good. Okay, so today is Christmas, and we should talk about this because you have you have 2 kids, and they're 3 years old now.
3.
Give us a picture of what does it look like to be in the Johnson household. What do you look forward to?
Man, I mean, 3-year-old twin boys who now just understand what's going on with Christmas, and they are pumped, out of their mind, excited about what's going on. So, I mean, they're all over the place. So, I mean, this year I've just been looking forward to, being able to, to give them little gifts and things. Like, we don't go crazy with them or anything, but it's like give them because they understand now and they get so excited about all this, all this nonsense and stuff. It's funny though, having 3-year-old twin boys at home, I have a new appreciation for the, the Garden of Eden story in Genesis, when all God says is there's one tree you can't touch. Yeah. Don't touch that one tree.
Okay, yes.
You can do whatever else you want. This is literally what our house is like. It's like we just put up the Christmas tree earlier in December, and it's like, kids, boys, you can do anything you want in this house. You can wreck whatever you want. Do not touch the big Christmas tree in the living room, whatever you do. And the only thing these kids want to do is go and start grabbing all the ornaments and shaking the tree up. Honestly, so I have a little bit of sympathy, I think, for Adam and Eve and how they.
It's a good comparison.
How that all went down. I get it. You tell them they can't do one thing; it's the only thing they want to do.
The parallelism there is beautiful. I mean, in our house, we have a 6-year-old to a 1-year-old, 3 of them, and we've just given up. So they take the ornaments, and one of my daughter treats it like a baby. She actually calls the ornament her baby ornament.
Well, we'll see. This is year 1 for me of them understand. We'll see how long we go before we give up. I'm looking forward to movies. We like to watch all the Christmas movies.
Yeah.
The boys at a very young age actually really identified with the Grinch, and I don't know if that's worrisome or a problem for us.
Okay, the character. Okay.
Yeah, they don't see him as a bad guy. He's just like, they like him. They're like, we like this guy. We like his vibe is cool. We like this guy. So I don't know. That might be a little.
Did they get that from you?
I don't know. I mean, I like I like to watch White Christmas. It's a kind of an old movie, but it's so amazing. Like
Is it?
the snow
I've
and all the
never seen
songs
it.
and the stuff. I know it's because it's old and
I'm too young.
it's old fashioned. I don't know what are you looking like. What do you like to do around this time of year?
Oh, Christmas. I love looking forward to food. Food number one. And I feel like this time of year is like the closest we're gonna get to, that scene in La La Land where they are all dancing on the cars, they're all happy. It's like someone gave a phone call to like every single person in the world and was like, hey, you should be happy today. You should have a little bop in your step.
Right, so the overall Christmas spirit, this is what...
Yes, you go to the grocery store, they're a little happier. The bank, but food.
Right.
Okay, so check this out. I'm married into a family where they're half Scottish, half British. I am not half Scottish and half British.
Interesting, half Scottish, half British, and you're looking forward to the food.
Okay, so check this out. Yeah, we go to their house, and it's this traditional turkey that have the mashed potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. It's like the same dishes, the same platters, the same utensils, the stainless steel. It's all perfect. Then you go to my family. I am of Asian descent, and I don't think this is like a tradition or whatever, but it's my aunts and uncles. They call each other up, and they're like, hey, what are you feeling today? Oh, I feel like sushi. Let's get some sushi. So they get a sushi platter. I feel like chicken wings. We get chicken. Oh, grandma's making a bowl of noodles. Like, it's like this mismatch of like random stuff. And then there's like this perfect meal. And I love that my kids get to grow up with both
It is
cultures.
interesting, isn't it, in like the kind of that, Western traditional Christmas meal thing. It's like you can't mess with the meal either. It's like it's like
no, you can't.
Like someone goes, "Oh, I'm gonna try something different," and it's like, "Please, no, don't bring that to the dinner. Like we have the things we have to have." It's kind of weird. Okay, well, here we are. It's Christmas Day, Christmas morning, maybe if you're watching in the morning. And I think what would be great is if we actually read through the Christmas story, because we hear this story all the time, and we can very easily start to forget the magic and the wonder and all the crazy stuff going on in the story, how important it is, all the rich theology even, all this sort of stuff. Because we hear it so much, it just becomes routine. And so I think we should read through the story. And kind of like my boys right now, who ask me why about everything, nonstop. Everything is why. Let's read the story with that kind of lens.
That's a great
because
idea.
I think we need to look at it in a fresh way to say, what is it that God's trying to tell us with this story? And what do we sometimes miss? Because maybe we just gloss through it because we're busy or we're just, we're thinking about other things. So let's read the story. We're going to read it together. It's in Luke chapter 2. We're going to start in verse 1. And I'll read a little bit, and then we can kind of chat about it, and then we can finish the story after that. So verse 1 says this: In those days, a decree went out from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be registered. This was the first registration when Quirinius was governor of Syria. And all went to be registered, each to his own town. And Joseph also went up from Galilee, from the town of Nazareth to Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be registered with Mary, his betrothed, who was with child. And while they were there, the time came for her to give birth. And she gave birth to her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling cloths, and laid him in a manger, because there was no place for them in the inn. This is a crazy story, actually, when you start to think about this. Like, I was just thinking about how you have this, so the Bible here. You've got all this stuff that's happening before this story, right? The Old Testament, from the garden through to Abraham, through David, it mentions David's line, all this redemptive story over hundreds and hundreds of years, characters, times, places, all of this, it all comes together. It all culminates on this Messiah is coming, he's being born, it's God in the flesh, and then what happens? There isn't a place for him to go. Like, isn't that wild? That in God's great giant plan, when it all comes together, oh, shoot, there's actually no room for him in the place. Like, that's crazy.
That's insane.
And I think it just said something to me about, I think, kind of what the Christmas season is saying to all of us. And maybe we'll hit this kind of at the end, but is there room for him in our story? And I think there's also this piece of it where this is the human experience. This is just what being a human is like, right? You're you're traveling and tired and doing these things, and then you get this curveball where, oh my goodness, I thought I had booked a room at this hotel and they've sold out my room and they whatever. Like, this is what it is to be human. Life is messy and it's not perfect and it's difficult. But I don't know. I think it's a cool picture of the humanity of Christ.
Oh, yeah. And I think you're hitting on something so good where it's like when you take a step back, we talk about the incarnation, when we talk about Christmas, where it's like God came down to the earth, became human. But do we actually understand that? So take this for example. So we think about Christmas and we think about, okay, we love Christmas. If you're Christian, if you're not, if you're skeptical, if you have any faith background that you subscribe to, we love Christmas because it's a holiday, right?
Yeah.
It's a holiday you rest. And what do you rest from? You rest from the year's work of, making money, paying the bills, like living your life, accumulating things to really build up your resume in a sense, like your social network, whatever you can to do to feed yourself in a sense. This is our Western thought, right? And then what happens when we do that is we kind of elevate self in a sense where we kind of idolize ourselves and our needs. In that sense, we kind of create ourselves as gods in a sense. And so when we look at God, we kind of diminish that gap in our minds. And so when we think, hey, God took on flesh, we don't really understand how much of a downgrade that was. Like, it was a major step down.
Yeah.
The humanity, like infinite God, to like this finite creature.
Yeah.
Bloop.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this is the early church, even throughout church history. There have been people who have kind of fought this idea, who have said, against the church, and throughout history we've seen them, become heretics and these different movements and things. But who have questioned this idea. They said, how can it be possible that the divine, transcendent God could ever become this material, fleshy thing? It's just too degrading and demeaning for a God to be able to do that. Right. But that's the beauty of the story and the uniqueness of the Christian message, is that we all try, like you said, we're all trying to elevate ourselves. And what does the ultimate elevated being show us that actually should be done? It's this degrading of self. It's this humility. And we don't get more of a I think, a human picture than this story, right? Like, this is traveling on horseback while pregnant and all these things. I mean, this is right in the dirt.
Totally. And you talk about like the early father, like the theologians who once established our faith, like what do we actually believe in, like debating over this. And it's funny because Athanasius was one of the main guys who wrote on the incarnation. We often think about him today as like this guy who had this loud voice of like, this is what the word of the Lord, or like, I don't know, like this is how the incarnation happened. But the interesting thing was during the Council of Nicaea, we thought he had this loud voice, right? But in that time, he was just a secretary. He was just an assistant to a bishop of Alexandria. And in that, like, he's a brilliant mind, but he took on this humble posture where some scholars say he was silent, like he didn't say anything. And I think that in itself is a perfect, like, this is Christmas Day. Like, God taking on flesh is like the most humble, like, servant act that he possibly could have done. Right. And I think that is just, it's mind-blowing, yeah.
Okay, let's keep reading the story.
Oh, yes, let's keep going.
You want to read the next bit?
I do. Okay, verse 8. And in the same region, there were shepherds out in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were filled with fear. And the angel said to them, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy that will be for all the people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be a sign for you. You will find a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among those with whom he is pleased."
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy because we just talked about this first bit of the story really showing us how human Christ was. And I think it's really cool in the way Luke tells the story. It's like now it pivots, and it's like, but now look at how divine he is.
Right.
This is God. We just established this is a human, but this is also at the same time God, because what happens? The sky lights up with angels from the heavens. They're praising and worshiping him. They're declaring this is Christ, the Lord. Glory to God in the highest. I mean, you can't get a kind of a greater picture here as an example of the dual natures here of Christ, right? Of he's fully human, and now we see, he's fully divine.
Yeah. And like even what you're saying, like the heavenly hosts are praising God. I think just so often we can go day to day that we don't actually realize like there's a multitude of angels, like there's spiritual entities that are worshiping God. And this is all according to his plan. Yeah. I mean, like, and so often I think we want to be in control over our lives. We want to make the money. We want to build up ourselves, but to actually take a step back, he had a plan. He has a plan through it all, and he's working in it, even if we can't see it. It's beautiful.
And the other thing that stands out to me here is this idea of fear. The angels, they say to the shepherds, "Fear not." And I think that is such an incredible little phrase here in the story, because if we pull back, what is it that's happening? You have this transcendent God who's over everything. And then you have human beings, and maybe if you're not a Christian, maybe you're going like, I have no idea if I'm good enough, or if you're a Christian, you're asking the same thing. You're like, I have no idea if I'm good enough. But what we get in the story here, the gospel story, is we don't have to fear because there's this connection now. We actually have access to that transcendent God through Christ, who is God in the flesh himself. And so we actually can live with confidence, we can live with purpose, we can live with joy, all of these things, because like the angel says, you don't have to fear. This existence doesn't have to be scary, actually, because of what Christ has done. You have connection to God. What more could you want, and what more could you find assurance in life and confidence in than that? So now go live your life confidently, have peace. He even says, peace among those whom he's like, you can have these things in your life because of what Christ has done.
Yeah, and this is like entirely like Philippians 2. It talks about how God took on flesh. He humbled himself. And then it gets to the point of, crucifixion. Like he suffered on this earth. And it's kind of like, it feels like it's going down in a sense of like he was born in a manger. Like it sounds pretty awful. But then the beautiful part of Philippians 2, it goes back up. Like it doesn't stop there, where we don't have to fear. We don't have to fear that it keeps going down into a pit. But after that, it says that Christ is exalted, like highly exalted. And he's the name above, and every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess that he is Lord. And so we don't have to fear that it's going to slip out of our grip, but God has that redemption there. And I think that's the scope we have to
And I think
at.
that's what we get into then in the last bit. Even more displayed for us, which is great. So let's finish the story here. In verse 15, when the angels went away from them into heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let us go over to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has made known to us." And they went with haste and found Mary and Joseph and the baby lying in the manger. And when they saw it, they made known the saying that had been told to them concerning this child. And all who heard it wondered at what the shepherds told them. But Mary treasured up all these things, pondering them in her heart. And the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all they had heard and seen as it had been told them. Now, before we get to this whole response of the shepherds, which I think is interesting, I have a question for you as a mother.
Oh.
So I remember when our boys were born, we were in the hospital, and after they were born, well, it was one after another, 2 minutes apart. And so it was like, I got one, and then I got the other, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, this is crazy. We have live human beings in my arms right now that didn't exist here, 2 minutes ago. And, but as a mother, I'm just reading this story going, so Mary becomes pregnant under very strange circumstances with a lot of drama and shame and all this kind of stuff. She then has to go her 9 months of pregnancy, ride on a donkey across the countryside, fully pregnant, ready to give birth anytime, then show up somewhere and the room isn't booked, all these things, right? And it's like more stress. So where are we gonna go? We're gonna go into a dirty barn.
Right.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Right.
In a dirty barn, has to give birth there. Isn't even a good place to put the child she's just given birth to, who she's like so enthralled with probably. It's like, where am I gonna put this baby now?
Right.
I have to put it in the feed trough. And then these dirty shepherds show up from the field who she doesn't know and just want to hang out around the room with her. Like, how is she saying, she's treasuring and pondering all these things in her heart? How's that possible?
I don't know, Jared. I don't know. That sounds like wild circumstances. I mean, we got the luxury of a hospital these days, but to be riding on a donkey, ready to have a child is next level. But the thing that's interesting, like what you said, is you have these babies when they're born, and it's like their livelihood depends on you. Like you are in charge of their life. Yeah. And I think it's an interesting flip around. Like when we say, God took on flesh, God didn't take on the flesh of like a powerful, like Elon Musk or something, who has all the no, he took on the form of a baby. Yeah. Like where his food, his security, his protection, it's all based on a woman who doesn't have much money, who isn't really like of a social class that's like wealthy. Like he's completely dependent.
Yeah. It's crazy because there's this cool paradox you're getting at here of he's dependent on her, but she knows who this baby is and she understands her dependence on him. And it's like this, I'm sure this crazy moment where she's just flooded with all of this. Like, I think about how amazing that moment is, seeing a birth. But then to know this is God in the flesh, the Savior of the world, Christ the Lord, as it says. I just can't imagine what that moment would have been like. And I think it presents a question to all of us. And we see how the shepherds respond to that question. They respond with worship. They respond with praise. They respond by going, wow, this is God in the flesh. Like, we will worship this. We will worship this thing. And I think that's the big takeaway here for us as we read the story, is for each of us, for me, for you, for everyone watching, it's, what do you do with this? Just like the angels proclaimed this to the shepherds, right now, God, through his word, has proclaimed this truth to you, this news to you. And so what do you do with this? Do you worship like they do? Or do you stay in the field and go on with your life and your business? And like you had said earlier, just treat it as a day off and a holiday and a time to get some rest. I think that's the ultimate question. I think something we all have to wrestle with. And that's
completely. And then how do we take on the heart of Christ, this humility, this servanthood, where we treat others, we treat God more important than ourselves. I think it's just an excellent reminder from going from there. My life is not my own. I don't need to fear. I don't need to be in control of everything, because God has an ultimate plan that we just have to surrender to and really trust him. Yeah.
Now, I said we were going to, there's going to be music in today's service, or whatever this is. And so before we get to that, I want to ask you a question, changing gears a little bit here. What is your go-to Christmas song?
Christmas song. Yep. You know what? I need more repertoire. Like today, actually, I was on Spotify, like trying to find more like this, because my default is Michael Bublé. I grew up listening to the Kenny G Christmas soundtrack. Wow. This was my parents. And so I need more. So tell me, Jer, what do you listen to?
I don't know. I mean,
what do I get into?
I love all sorts of Christmas music. There's lots of good albums, actually, to listen to at home with kids. I mean, Sia has a good one with lots of Christmas fun songs for kids.
I didn't know
Casey Musgraves has some great contemporary Christmas music stuff. Mariah, of course. How can you go wrong with that? Obviously that's the pinnacle. My favorite kind of Christmas song, Christmassy Christmas song, is actually Once in Royal David City. And Sufjan Stevens does a great version of that song. If you want to look that up. It's a cool song because it kind of walks through a lot of just the Christmas story in a kind of a quirky way. It's really cool. But I think my favorite one is O Holy Night, not just because it's so grand and everything, but I was listening to us doing this for Christmas Eve, and there's one verse stood out to me that I hadn't paid a ton of attention to before about slaves being freed and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, this is an incredible verse about how, the kingdom of God in the future, there is no slavery, there's none of this oppression. And so we as Christians now should be freeing slaves. I was like, this is a wonderful justice of the church in the world kind of a song. So that kind of really resonated with me this year. I love that. But I think we should maybe have a guest.
We should have music right now.
And some music
we
ourselves
should bring
right
up
now.
a friend, I think.
Yes.
You know, maybe we should call up Shiloh Charity,
If
see
she's
if she's
around.
Is she around somewhere?
Are you around?
Is she around?
Somewhere on set.
She is
There
around.
she is.
Merry
Shiloh.
Christmas, Shiloh.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Yes.
Great.
Are you having a wonderful Christmas so far
it's
this
splendid.
morning?
It's been
splendid.
splendid. Presents.
Wow.
You know, it's been fun.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Well, Shy, yes.
Yeah.
Tell us.
What's your favorite Christmas
What's your go-to?
song?
I mean, come on. All I want for Christmas is you. Like, hands down, the best.
It's hard to argue. I mean, when the song starts,
The little boot.
the
Yep.
jingle, everything, it's like, okay, yeah, everything is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Are you
gotta
going to
give you a
sing that
stage
song
for
for
that.
us?
Yes, we
Right
gotta
now?
give you a stage
Okay.
for that.
No. I mean, I could, but
What
no.
are you
So
gonna
what about
sing
like a more
today?
carol-y,
Yes.
A more
churchy?
Yes, there you
gospel-centered
go.
about Christ coming to
Yes.
earth and the hope that we found. So I would have to say the first Noel.
The first Noel. That's a great one.
Oh, that is
That's
a great one. Okay, but before we transition to that, we want to remind you that next week our services are all online, okay? So don't go to the physical site. It's all online, and we're going to hear from the one and only Jeremy Johnson.
Yeah, next Sunday, again, be here, same place, here online, and we are going to talk about Jesus being the center of the church, Jesus being the center of Village Church, why that is crucial for everything. Hopefully it's really encouraging, actually, for you to start the year off, really center ourselves around Christ and the reason why we exist as a church and why we do all the stuff that we do. It's going to be fun. So that's right here online next Sunday again. And of course, this is the time of year where lots of people are asking us or interested in how do I support the ministry of Village Church? How can I do that before the year end is up? That's really easy. Just go to thisisvillagechurch.com/give and you can do that in any number of ways online. And we really, really appreciate that because that's how we're able to do the incredible ministry that God does through Village Church every day, every week throughout the year here. So, Shiloh, I think we should reset the stage a little bit. And then
Take
you should
it
come back on
away.
here and lead, or I guess perform the first Noel for us and send us off with that. Would you be willing to do that
I
for us?
would love to.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's enjoy Shiloh singing for us the first Noel.
The first Noel, the angel did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel, 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 Noel. Well, from all of us here at Village Church, we want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas.